This next one is so simple and easy, it can be made all in one go. I'm roasting salmon and veggies all on one sheet pan. It checks all the boxes and it can be made in minutes. For this frozen meal hack, I'm gonna be using these frozen salmon fillets that were sustainably farmed, along with these country potatoes with green beans and wild mushrooms that's already seasoned and done. So I've already thawed 3 of our salmon fillets and they're ready to go. To season them, I'm gonna make a maple mustard glaze that's gonna bake beautifully. So in a bowl, I'm gonna start by adding my mustard. I like using coarse mustard here, but if you don't like the texture, you can always substitute for Dijon mustard. Maple syrup, some chili powder to give it a smoky flavor, freshly minced garlic, a pinch of salt, and a drizzle of olive oil. Now I'll just give it a mix. First, I'm starting with the baking sheet lined with parchment paper. Now, do you guys ever wonder why they don't make the parchment paper long enough to actually cover the sides of the baking sheet? It always bothers me. But anyways, now I'm gonna pour in our country potatoes. If you guys can't find country potatoes already seasoned, each store kind of has their own version of like a frozen potato side dish, so just use whatever you like. I'll pour it out onto the sheet pan, spread it out, leaving a big space in the middle for the salmon. And finally, I'll just spoon the glaze on top of our salmon. And then depending on the size of your salmon fillet, since these are rather small, I'm gonna bake it at 400 degrees for about 10 minutes. If they're a little bigger, feel free to bake them longer, up to 14 minutes. You don't want to overcook your salmon. Our salmon and potatoes have finished roasting. They are beautiful and they smell so good. So I'm gonna start plating everything. I like to add a bed of greens at the bottom, just to amp up the fresh flavors in there and get some additional nutrients. Make it look kind of fancy. Now I'll scoop our potatoes right on top. I like how the bottoms are nice and crispy. Aside from the potatoes, make sure you get some mushrooms and green beans in there. And then we'll top it with our fillet of salmon and finish it off with a squeeze of lemon juice. This was made out of almost everything frozen. Can you guys believe it? It smells incredible, like I said, so I'm gonna dig in. Perfectly cooked salmon. The salmon is so buttery and tender, like I said, cooked to perfection. The glaze on top has that smokiness from the chili powder with the tang from the lemon juice and the mustard and sweetness from the maple. It's very balanced. And then the mushrooms and potatoes, well, let me just say that I've never met a potato I did not like. It's very well seasoned and complements this salmon so well.